Hey guys, it's Morgan. Welcome back to the weekly Shlog, and more importantly, welcome Brady Metter to the weekly Shlog. He loves this part.
Yeah. Great. Hello.
Sexy beast.
Yep.
Brady is here training Zach up on TBT suspension. Guys, we are going to be a full TBT shop. I'm so excited. It's finally happening. Brady finally got out here. We've been begging him forever. Actually, this is a good thing. Real quick, I'm going to make Brady show you something, what you just did, because it is pretty cool.
I just surfaced the face of the piston so it's all flat.
Because they don't come flat, do
they?
they?
Come flat. No, this is what they come like.
Right.
So
you do a little bit of surfacing.
It's barely on the edges only.
Yep.
Not all the way flat like that, so that way it seals against the face of the shin.
Right.
So.
Which makes everything work like it's supposed to work. The reality is, guys, when they mass manufacture these things, they can't make them all flat. So they put them in there, they work okay, but that's a big deal. So anyway, Brady's here training. We got both the dogs being awesome. Zach's learning. Leandra is throwing things at people. It's going to be a good week. If that sounds like fun, you want to watch, join us. Let's get to it. I know. Leandra is learning the ins and outs of training a tiny little dog, which is a nightmare. Because he's out of control. But he's actually pretty awesome. He's starting to listen. We're working on it. All right, guys. First on my lift is actually not that one. That will be next soon. That's the one that was draining the battery. It's a 450FX. But we got a 250FX at 22. That we're putting a recluse in, so I'm excited to do that. Did we get that recluse today? Oh, it's on the lift. Leandra just screamed at me, use your eyes. I was on the wrong side of the bike. There's the recluse right there. So, yeah. So let's do that. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So first things first, we got the skid plate off. Now we're going to drain the oil. Normally, I would say that you want to lay this thing on the side so you don't have to drain the oil and all that stuff. But this gentleman has put enough time on this brand new bike that he wants the oil changed anyway. So we're going to go ahead and drain the oil, and then we'll get the brake pedal out of the way, and then we'll take the clutch cover off. All right, guys. Now it is time to get this main clutch hub nut off. You can see right there, this little indentation. That's what locks it on the Yamaha, the stock one. So what we're going to do is get a little bitty punch, come in here and knock that out. And then this is a 30mm nut. We're going to spin that off. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to hold our hand against the clutch pack as we hit it with an impact. And that's going to, holding this is going to lock the clutch hub to the motor because we're going to act like the clutch is being engaged. That's going to spin it off, and then we'll go to putting the rest of it on. All right, guys, so we got it outside because these things are so loud. I don't know about you, but these freaking Yamaha 4-strokes are crazy loud. So let's get it started up. All right, now we're going to check the free play gain, which is the amount that this clutch lever will come in when we rev it. So we're going to take the free play out of it, just leave a little bit of pressure on it. All right, we're going to rev it. You see how? All right, guys, you see how it came in? About an 1/8, 1/16 to an 1/8 of an inch. That's what we're looking for, so it should be really good. Now I'm going to set you guys down. I'm going to kick it into gear. And what you want to feel is you want to feel a little bit of a drag when it goes into gear, but you don't want it to stall. So let me put you guys down. Hand off the clutch. Sweet. All right, we're in gear. Pulling just a little bit, not much. Now let's see. Sweet. All right, next on the list is this YZ450FX. We've been having a problem with it charging. I got a new ECU for it because it turns out these things, if they go through real deep water, you wash them a lot. If it's not sealed up the connection, it'll cause some sort of issue inside there. I'm not sure exactly what fries. But the bike will still run, but it drains the battery, and it drains it really fast. So we tested everything else. Everything everything else seems fine. So we got a new ECU. So we're going to put it on here. We've used some dielectric grease on that to get it, hopefully keep any moisture out. We're going to put that on there, fire this thing up and see if the battery charges, and then see if it holds a charge. Alright guys, bike fired right up, no problem. Now we're going to check and make sure it's charging. So we got our meter set to volts DC. 13.2 at idle, that's good. I'm happy with that. So I don't think that was ever really totally the problem. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of button it back up a little bit at least, and just let it sit, basically. This is what we got to do. I got to replace the top shock bolt for him too because he messed that up. But just let it sit and see if we get an amp draw on that battery. I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to be good. I'm going to push around on stuff to make sure I don't get any of the clicking sound that it was doing before. It was really weird. Like you'd push on the wire loom that eventually got to the ECU and it'd go click, click, click. You get click from the relay. It was really stinking weird. So anyway, make sure that's all good. But we'll check back in here and let you know if we fixed it, but I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
What's up?
The STI people called when what is it?
I don't know. Try giving her a call first, and then if not, whatever their email on the website is. All right, guys, I got something cool to show you, something interesting. So the CDI, the ECU, whatever, was messed up because it quit running eventually after lots of fiddling. Anyway, I got that all back in there. It seemed like it was good, fired up, wasn't making the clicking noise. Did a bunch of stuff. I put a new shock bolt in it for him, top shock bolt, and got everything, was buttoning everything back up, and then all of a sudden, click, click, of the stinking relays. I was like, eh. Anyway, after very much digging and tons of swearing and throwing things, I have something to show you guys. Right there. Focus. See those wires? They're worn through. And those wires normally ride right up against this frame, super, super tight right there. And what was happening is that they would just move over and click, click, and touch ground. And that's what was causing it. That's what eventually fried the ECU and was causing the battery drain. So now I have to figure out how to isolate those, clean them up, and then protect that against that happening again. So I will come back to you when I've figured that out. Because right now, I don't know. But we're going to get it dialed in. All right, guys. Next on the lift is this gorgeous Husaberg 300. Yes, it is just a blue KTM, but it's pretty sweet. We have worked on this thing before. There's nothing really wrong with it now. But what we are going to do for him is we're going to help solve this mess problem. You see all that oil, whatever, it's blowing out right here. So I'm going to show you what we do for that. First thing we got to do, take the pipe off. All right, guys, so got the pipe off. Couple things. First of all, if this is leaking, a lot of times the O-rings are no good, and these O-rings are definitely bad. They just kind of split into, anyway. So got those out. Got the green ones, the Viton ones. I get these from extremeparts.com, so if you guys want to help us and get good parts, go to extremeparts.com and use code Highland10, save money. They ship right from Romania. Like I said, we've got fans, kickstands, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, they also have these, and they're super cheap, and I just buy them in bulk, like tons of them at the same time. Anyway, that's going to help out with the head, or with the cylinder. Now, for this junction, you want to make sure you clean this and the other end really well. And then you want to take the joint and clean it really, really well. Dry it out really well. And then we're going to use some clear silicone. I like the clear because it's clear and it's not orange and everywhere. So we're going to, first of all, put some on this. This is the big end. It's hard to see, but there's a lip in here. This is the big end, this is the small end, and it's important. This goes onto the silencer, and then the pipe comes into here. So we're going to put some here. Huh? What?
I said, where's the medium end?
Medium. There's Grumpy Brady right over there. If you guys, all of you who watch the Gospel of Two Wheels and you watch Brady and all his comments, there he is in all his grumpiness over there having fun. So, come in here, smear that around really good. Now we're going to take this and slide it onto the silencer. And I can't show you in there, but I like to reach in there and make sure that the bigger part slides up and meets that lip nice and tight, so it makes a nice seal there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of silicone and put it on the outside of here, because that's going to slide into the grommet. And if we put it in here, like right now I can reach in here and I can make sure there's nothing plugging it, but if we put silicone in here right now and then slide it on, you can end up with a big wad of silicone going into the silencer and causing problems. Don't ask me how I know that a KX100 won't run with a big plug of silicone in it, but it won't. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put just a little bit around the edge of this, and we're gonna slide it all in together, and that's gonna seal it up really, really well. Join me as we come over here and we look into the wilds of suspension tuning, where the master teaches the Padawan.
Well, we're not gonna. Yeah,
He's screwing it up.
We're gonna have to wait.
Screwing it up. What are you gonna have to wait for? What's up? The clamper!
I see your
Oh!
I just, whenever I'm down here, I always stop, say, give you a hard time.
Yes. We got the bear. Clearly, I have nothing to worry about. Alright guys, next on the lift is this 500. Yeah, 500 KTM. Making sure it wasn't a 530. Anyway, 500 KTM. It's got this crazy thing on it right now, but we are going to install a Nomad Rally Tower. Pretty excited about that. From Nomad ADV. Let's see what the end result's gonna look like, because that's what we all care about, right? Well, let's see. I don't know. Lots of pictures. All right, I'll try to find a picture, put it up here, but pretty excited about this thing. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna take a ton of work. So yeah, let's dig in. We'll pull this thing off. We'll start fresh with this. We're gonna get everything out of the way. Seat, tank, obviously this headlight, fender, everything, get it out of the way, and then start working on it. It's gonna be quite a project, but I think it's gonna turn out really, really cool. Brady matter. Alright guys, next on the lift is this lovely 125XC. This is from a customer of ours who is, I think he lives in Durango actually. He's been watching all our videos on my 125 and he wants to get it set up like ours. I believe he already has the RK Tech head in it, and he's got a JD set up in the carburetor, but he watched my video about my Kian 36mm, and he really wants this thing to have a little bit more low end and a little bit more crisp off the bottom throttle response. And I feel like that's exactly what the 36mm Kian does for this thing. So we are going to set it up like that. So that's the next deal. I'll show you guys how we do it. It's super simple on these things and it works really, really well. All right, guys. We got the subframe loosened up, the silencer off, the subframe is tilted up. Now we're going to pull the carburetor out. You can actually get these carburetors out of here without doing all that, but it's just a real pain. So I like to just go ahead and pull the silencer and all that, and it just makes this go way, way, way easier. Mikuni off.
What you got there?
Carburetor.
Well, why you need a different carburetor if they're so good?
Because you don't really need one, Mr. Metter.
Oh yeah, you do.
But if you guys watch the
My
video,
FI bike runs perfect. Starts every time.
it's funny, it doesn't
Don't
run
have to
perfectly
buy
because
extra parts.
there's a video that's already up of it not running perfectly.
No
He
idea.
just doesn't know that it's already up, and it's not running all that well.
It ran just fine to keep up with you all day, sir.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You're laying on the ground, upside down.
If the thing is, like, my skill level does not make the fact that my carbureted bike is infinitely better
Maybe
than
you should
his.
ride a 4-stroke and you would be better.
No,
Skill level.
no, wouldn't
I
help.
don't remember you crashing this much on the YZ450.
You never rode with me on the YZ450.
Well, you know, I'm just saying.
I crashed that bike plenty. I crash bikes, that's what I do.
Yes.
Poor,
Professional bike crasher.
I am. Brady is just about done training Mr. Sheets up, and we are so very appreciative. How do you do?
You did great.
We're excited.
Should be good.
Yeah, we're very excited, and we're working on a situation for Mr. Metter. We're trying to figure out how we can buy a bunch of his gear and take over. I don't know if I want all of your suspension business.
All or nothing.
It's all, well, I mean, I'm taking all of his stuff, but I don't know if I want all the people.
Well,
We'll pick and choose.
yeah, right.
We'll pick and choose. But yeah, so we are replacing. So actually, Brady brings up a great question. Why replace this Mikuni carburetor with another carburetor? I'll show you why. It's all right here. So here we go. There is the new short body Kean 36. And I'm going to show you what the big difference is. All right, guys, here is the real difference. So both the McKeon and the Mikuni are more or less the same style carburetor. They're both flat slides, even though, yes, that's not flat, but they're not round. But the big difference is the shape of the slide. Now, honestly, I can't say exact, from an engineering standpoint, I can't say why this one is better than this one, but it is. The way it works is just better. You can see the slide cutaways are different. Obviously the profile is completely different. But for some reason, the Kean slide is just a lot better. So that's why we're doing it. Now, this came from JD Jetting. We can get you one if you'd like. We can have it drop shipped right to your place, or we can get it and put it on like we're doing for this gentleman. I forget how much they are. It's on their website. Just go to jdjetting.com. You can check it out. The cool thing about buying it from JD is that you end up with their kit with it. So it's all set up. I got to figure out what needle and all that's in here to make sure we've got it set for him correctly. But it's pretty cool. All right, guys, so the only real modification you got to make to this carburetor to make it work with the stock KTM throttle housing and throttle cable is this nub right here. You got to grind that flat, and that's just to take up, because if you don't, you can't get any free play in the cable. So we just got to grind that flat. So that's way better than using my old grinder. Made that thing nice and flat. I did nick this part a little bit, but no big deal. So now we're gonna thread that onto the throttle cable, which will give us plenty of free play. Then we'll hook everything back up and give it a test. All right, guys, got the 125 all ready to rock and roll. We're running a 182 main jet and a 42 pilot. I think it should be really good for where he lives. It's really close to what I've got. Might be exactly what I have. I can't honestly remember. It's either 182 or 185 in mine. You can see up here we got plenty of throttle free play. One thing, guys, that I've learned with my bikes, because I put this style throttle on my 300 too. It's got this little wheel up here. But one thing I've learned is if you get too much free play in these cables, they will stick open on you, because that's just the nature, it's the way the little wheel thing. Anyway, you can't have it too loose. If you get it too loose, it'll stick, and it's terrifying. So anyway, we've got it ready to rock and roll. He might actually be buying some more stuff from us to make this thing street legal. Put a headlight on it and all that stuff. So I will bring you in if he does. Guys, you can see the dogs are getting along well. They're having lots of fun. There they go. And update on the rally bike that we're building. Well, the rally-like bike. I mean, he's not actually going to race rallies. He's just going to have a really super cool bike. We got the Nomad Tower all built and sorted out. It's kind of still a bit of a mess. The wire loom, yeah. So the deal is that this gentleman already had a bunch of controls that he wants to keep. For instance, this control here for horn, turn signals, high, low, and then he wants to keep his Voyager, but we have another GPS to put up here, and then we've got a keyed hot USB situation right here, and the key switch is up there. So anyway, there's a lot going on. So it's probably never going to be super clean, because like I said, he wants to keep all that there. But he came in, he brought me the other GPS. I didn't know we had another GPS. So he really wants to move this switch to here, which we can do, no problem. He wants to take this, and put it here, which we can do. And then we're gonna put the other GPS up here. So, yeah, sorry I'm not bringing you guys in on every little bit of this thing. It's just a lot of work, and not really, I don't know, it's not that interesting to watch. But I will, when I get done here, I'll touch on a few things that I think that the kit is lacking. It's none of the parts, none of the hardware, none of that. But the instructions, not the best. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going here on this. Oh, also, I want to say a huge thanks to Chris Cooley, who sent us this super rad fuel pressure gauge from Takomoto. Really happy about that. He saw my video on the one that we built ourselves, a little setup I built that you can plug in line to any KTM. So now we have two, one for me, one for Zach. So thank you very much, Chris. Really appreciate that. I haven't tried it out yet, but yeah, it looks awesome. I'm excited about that. Mr. Metter has left. Zach is all on his own to do TBT suspension now, which means we are ready for you guys to either bring in or send us your suspension. So let me know if you're interested in a revalve, everything custom, whatever you need, we can do it now. I'm really excited to announce that. Send an email to morgan@highland-cycles.com and we can get you set up and make your stuff super rad. So anyway, I'm gonna get after this. I'll bring you back in when we get done, if I get done today. Yeah, anyway, here we go. All right, guys, I got the GPS mount all mounted up. It's not totally done. I gotta put some bolts. I had to make a bracket that goes, you can see that, goes between there. Anyway, I'm gonna take that bracket off and paint it so that it doesn't rust. But I got it figured out, fortunately. And now we got to run the wires back. We're going to tie them into the battery underneath here. So got to take the tank and feed back off, no big deal. Run that wire back in, tie it into the battery, and then we'll be done. And I'm excited because I think it turned out really well. Overall, really like the aesthetic, like the way it looks. It's holding everything well. So it turned out pretty cool. So anyway, guys, that's the end of the Shlog. I am so happy that we are a TBT shop now, so please reach out if you want us to do your suspension. We definitely can. We've always been able to surface it. Excuse me. We've always been able to service it, but now we've got another level of expertise in that, and then a whole extra level of expertise in actually valving and setting it up just for you and what you do. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Please visit the sponsors in the links down below. It really does make a difference. I really want these people to know that what we're doing is helping them, because that's how we do this. That's how we grow this channel. That's how we test more stuff and do all kinds of cool stuff. So I hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels. I desperately hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on, but more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!